Hi, my name is Kruvian Cal, and I, for most of my adult life, I was an agnostic. I didn't show me the money. I guess was my belief system. I didn't believe that there was a God or this or that or the other thing. But my father, who as I mentioned before, was a Freemason. Um, he died in September of 2007, and well. By the way, people have been able to read my thoughts like since I was a young child, and I really never considered that, even though I'm incapable of reading theirs. But I've never considered that some sort of like supernatural thing, and I've tried to do is research on it, and the it, HARP technology can imitate the brain length patterns of the human mind, imitate it and make you feel. If they want to do that, HARP stands for High Activity Auroral Research Project, High Frequency Activity Auroral Research Project, and um, they they can imitate the brain length patterns of massive amounts of the human populace, all of us, all 6+ billion living on Earth, and have us feel a certain way and that kind of thing. But all right, so I never really considered telepathy some sort of supernatural thing, although it's been in my life, and no one else around me that's that and that's everyone as far as I know that picks up on my thoughts. Nor do they consider uh, supernatural. When I was 3 years old, I this was my primary form of communication with my parents, and everything just became very, very distinctive. My memory from when I was a child, and well, um, there are certain things that began terrifying me when I was a very young boy, and that's that people were dying based upon thoughts thoughts that I had, and there would be thoughts that I would have, and then people would die, and it was shown on the media, on the TV and that kind of thing, and well, this absolutely terrified me. Like I said, I had a strange upbringing with I think with this telepathy thing, and with my father being a Mason, and so at a very very young age, I was told that I was talking to Richard Nixon, our president, on the phone, and I was, a little boy is a boy of love, and so I'm trying to get Nixon to stop bombing people. He's like he's bombing the people in Vietnam and that kind of thing, and so I wanted to get him to stop bombing people. I was born June 16th, 1969. Uh, so I was like I guess like this probably I estimated it to be like in 1973, and me being 4 years old. Um, but so I'm a very young child. I'm 4 years old, and the man the man on the phone, whether it was a Nixon imposter or the real Richard Nixon, I'm not sure. There is the possibility that he was the actual real Nixon, because the telepathy thing. Lots. There's a lot of strangeness in my life when I was a child. I guess I took it for granted, like that I was talking on the phone with some with Richard Nixon, and but he was very very tricky to a 4-year-old boy. He would say, We have all these excess bombs. What do we do with all these excess bombs? So I said, okay, you can get rid of the excess bombs, but you have to tell the people before you bomb them. So I thought I was being tricky, and turns out that that's kind of like what was going on in Vietnam. Anyway, they they were informing the Viet Cong like a day before that they were going to bomb that quadrant. So I wound up like hating Nixon because he was very tricky for me, 4-year-old boy. And then he resigned, and I talked to Gerald Ford um, once on the phone, and he said, and I was a big Cowboys fan, like, so he said, "Howdy, partner. What do you say we end this here draft?" And I responded to that I didn't know what he was talking about. This was like I think I was age 6 or 7 at this time, probably 7, and I relayed what he said to my mother. He wants to know if we should end this here draft. And my mom just gets ecstatic. Uh, what? Yes, yes, end the draft. And so I'm talking on the phone with Gerald Ford. I say yes, and he asked me, why do you think we should end this here draft? So of course I don't even know what a draft is. I asked my mom and my father who was there, and I said, he wants to know why we should end this here draft. And my dad went like this, because it's cold. So so I said, because it's cold. Just like my dad said. He goes, alrighty, partner, we'll do that. Like Gerald Ford, he's pretending to talk like a cowboy because I'm a big cowboy fan, and love the song "Rhinestone Cowboy" by Glenn Campbell. But uh, there's since my dad died, there's been this like heightened like supernatural activity that has occurred uh, with 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 regards to my thought, and it entails like weather patterns mimicking my thought to an extent um, where I can only see it as I mean, we're talking fractions of a second here, to an extent where I can only believe it to be a higher intelligence, God, a living, breathing universe, aliens, probably not aliens, but yeah, and I looked into the HARP technology thing, and no, they wouldn't be able to control, even with almost instantaneous access to my thoughts via telepathy, they wouldn't be able to control the weather to that extent. So I was able to eradicate humans and the very, and it is very advanced human technology. If you look at the deep underground military bases and the maglevs that interconnect all of them, and I mean they're probably doing so many things down there. Like well, I believe what they're actually trying to do is prepare for some sort of doomsday scenario, which might occur on December 21st, 2012, the end of the main calendar. I think there's definitely something strange, and there's something that is going to occur on that date. Actually, I think it's going to be some sort of a new life because the Mayans had they based everything on a 260-day calendar rather than a 360. So like we have the Earth not fully completing its revolution around the sun at 260 days. But 260 days is an imitation of the time with which a woman misses her period and the time when she gives birth to a child. So these civilizations would, like on Earth as it is in heaven, is how like the Hebrews called it, Black Hebrews, by the way, Black Hebrews, and all these civilizations would try to correlate things that occur up in the sky, in the galaxy and that kind of thing, with things that are observable here on Earth. So the 260-day calendar is indicative that the people believed in a rebirth, a regeneration process, and I think that's exactly what would occur despite their ending of the calendar, on December 21st, 2012. I think it's a rebirth kind of scenario. Also, we've got some really naughty Goya that haven't treated me well, and I think some higher thing got mad about this, but I just like on December 24th, 2004 is when it started. I mean, that's a very memorable date, because we had like 80 to 90%. That's a number that's frequently quoted, by the way, by the great colors. 80 to 90% of the populace surrounded me just started this massive onslaught of abuse towards me, and I think they might have angered something like really quite a bit. And I'm not just talking about the Masons. Those are merely humans. Bye.